Pricing for the Kia Stinger GT model starts at $39,300. As equipped, the GT2 here is $54,015. Power comes from a 3.3-liter twin-turbo V6, making 365 horsepower and 376 pound-feet of torque, and that engine is awesome. To activate launch control, you have to be in sport mode, and then you have to turn traction off all the way. And then once you have all that set, foot on the brake, gas all the way down, launch control ready, and you're off. Wow. 0 to 60 happens in 4.7 seconds with a top speed of 167 miles an hour. That's right, you can go that fast in the Kia. Get over it. The color you see here is called ceramic silver. I love the color palette of the Kia Stinger GT. This definitely is one of my favorite colors, and if I were to get it, it probably would be in this ceramic silver. As seen on this model here, these are 19-inch wheels with Brembo brakes, and they really stop on the dime. Love the wheel design, wouldn't have it any other way. What do I think about the design? I like it a lot. The rear end reminds me of the Dodge Charger, especially with the taillight design. This stays true to the concept that came out at the 2011 Frankfurt Auto Show, and I think overall it looks really nice. Yes, I know this is annoying, but I don't really hate it that much. Interesting note, that thing right there, that little reflector that runs into the fender, was on the concept in 2011 as well. Real and fake vents. Real, fake, I can live without those nostrils, and fake. Yes, the quad exhaust is real, and that sound isn't from this car, that's somebody passing by. Sounds like a racer. It's got this tiger nose grill thing going on here, and if you look closely, Kia does a great job of hiding the front camera and sensor right in the grill. You can't really tell that it's there. One of the best headlamps designs I've seen in a long time. Those daytime running headlamps look really nice and luxurious, something I wouldn't expect on the Kia, and those indicators are some of the coolest indicators that I've seen in a long time. Rear tail lights with the indicator on, not as fancy as they are on the front end, but still pretty nice. You can open the tailgate from the front, the key, or there's a button right here. Touch that and that opens up the tailgate like this, and it opens up to 23.3 cubic feet. Once you're here, you can lay the seats down right from here. 60-40 split. They don't fall flat, but plenty of room in here for anything you could possibly imagine. To close the lift gate, you just push this button, and it's gone. Overall interior quality is impressive. This is the GT2 model, so it is fully equipped. Everything is leather wrapped or soft touch materials. There's this aluminum trim all around the car, and I love it. The back seat is pretty roomy. You have 36.4 inches of rear leg room. I'm 6 foot tall. That's my seating position. I have this much space. One thing, your feet don't go all the way under the driver's seat, so that's a bit annoying. Once you're back here, this GT2 here has heated rear seats, and you have a USB port and a 12-volt cigarette charger outlet. Seats are very nice, very comfortable. Those are Nappa leather seats on the GT2. Very well bolstered, very comfortable for a long drive. So you can go for a big cruise in your Grand Tour. You do have power folding mirrors right there, but you also have in a Kia automatic adjustable steering. That's super cool. I would have expected that to be manual. Close-up of the steering. I like it. The only thing that bothers me is that area there. It's like cheap plastic, and it takes away from the overall luxurious look of the car. I wish they made it leather or something. One of the coolest keys I've seen in recent years. This is leather wrapped, and it looks like a bomb detonator. Unlock, trunk, panic, and to lock it, just gotta blow it up. Let's start it up, but before we do that, check out this. Once you get inside, sit down. A nice little welcome sound. Start up and rev from the inside. I have my door open. And of course, when you turn it off, bye. The infotainment screen is great. It's touchscreen. It's not glossy. It has this matte screen feeling to it, so it doesn't leave a lot of fingerprints. Overall, I love it. It's quick. It's smooth. There's no glitchiness. You have Android Auto. You have Apple CarPlay. One of my favorite things about the Kia Stinger is that how the car adapts itself to you instead of you adapting to the car. For example, if I go to Advanced and I go to Steering Wheel Mode button, I could set the modes that I listen to the most and take away the ones that I don't. So, for example, nobody in the world listens to AM radio. You could just turn that off, and I just have iPod, phone projection, and FM, and I could just circle through those modes when I change the mode on the steering wheel. I don't have to go through everything I don't listen to anymore. The other thing you can adjust, obviously, is the volume and the sound. But when you go into volume, say I want to increase the ringtone volume. Yes, that was the actual sound that it plays when I increase my ringtone volume. Otherwise,
guidance will be at this volume.
Other stuff you can adjust. Phone projection, coolest thing. I've never seen this in a car before. You can adjust the volume of Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Yes, so you have heated and cooled front seats. You have a heated steering. Everybody keep that off because I will hate you otherwise. But yeah, that's the controls down here. Camera-wise, you're pretty loaded. You have a bird's eye view, rear view, full rear view, side views on each side. And then when you put it in drive, you get the same thing, full front view and side views on each side. The quality in the Kia Stinger here is outstanding in every way. This is like all leather, nice aluminum trim buttons here. And one thing I love the most is this, the sound the vents make when you open and close them. Yes, you do have a wireless charger right there. You also have USB, auxiliary, and a 12-volt cigarette lighter charger. There is really nothing you don't have here. This car is fully loaded with a bunch of things. You have adaptive cruise control, you have lane keep assist, you have blind spot monitoring, you have rear cross traffic alert, heads-up display, it just keeps going. Yes, you have dual zone climate control, and you can actually just spin the dial here instead of going into the infotainment screens and going 3 screens deep to change the climate. And you have a sync button right there. I have a pet peeve. It needs to be on all the time. Here is the gearbox for the 8-speed manual. Reverse, drive. Then when you hit park, it makes this nice little beeping sound. There's a lot of nice sounds, chimes in here that make you feel like you paid $50,000. Drive modes are changed from this knob here, and you have the option to go through Smart, Eco, Comfort, Sport, and Custom. Once you're inside Custom, you can change various settings: powertrain, steering, suspension, all-wheel drive. I like to have everything Sport except the suspension. I like it in Comfort because, I just want to cruise along, dude. So the driver display here lets you go through a bunch of screens. One is a sports screen. You get your G-force meter, lap timer, gauges, and then you can go into your driver info screen. You can go into compass. You can go into the driver assist and settings. One thing I absolutely love about Hyundai and Kia is that when I change the wiper here, it'll display what mode I'm in. I don't have to look at the setting there. And even when I turn my lights on and off, it'll tell me that there too. Honking the horn. Pretty solid. Now that I've answered all your questions about the Kia Stinger GT, I wanted to give you my thoughts on what this car is all about. Yes, the numbers are all there. 365 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds, top speed of 167 miles an hour. Those are all impressive, but let's be serious. To me, what's most important about a car is the way it makes you feel when you drive it. And the feedback from this car and the way I feel when I drive it is very confident. It's really, really nice. It accelerates really strong. Handling is amazing. And it goes back to who was really involved in developing this car for Kia. The Kia Stinger was designed by two Germans that previously worked at Audi and Volkswagen. It was engineered by a German named Albert Biermann, who previously worked at BMW, and not just BMW, BMW M. He was a vice president of engineering before joining Kia as the head of engineering, so that really explains the German feel of this car. But obviously the question goes back to whether or not you would buy this over a car like the BMW 440i Gran Coupe. So here's some perspective for you. The BMW 440i Gran Coupe starts at $53,000. The Kia Stinger GT starts at $39,300. As loaded, as you saw here, we're right at $54,000. So the starting price tag of a BMW 440i Gran Coupe is similar to the Kia Stinger GT2 fully loaded. And that really speaks about the value of this car. But yes, no matter how affordable or how luxurious a Kia gets, people will still have their badge buys. So let me tell you a little story. I pulled up to the mall in this car. I've had this for a week. People have come up to me left and right asking me what kind of car this is. They kept saying nice Kia. So I pull up to the mall and this guy pulls in right beside me and goes, "Hey dude, nice car. Do you like it?" I'm like, "Hey dude, not my car, but I really like it." And then we get into a conversation about how one of his friends traded in his BMW for a Kia Stinger GT. And you hear those stories all the time, but you never believe it. You're always doubtful that somebody would really trade in their BMW or buy this over a BMW. But it does happen, and I totally understand it. Of course, if you can't get over a badge bias, I'm not mad at you. Do what makes you happy, but I have to give credit where credit is due, and the Kia Stinger GT specifically, is an outstanding car.